Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that's not just changing medicine, it's completely rewriting the rulebook for how we fight disease. We're talking about the incredible power of AI in the race to develop new vaccines and cures.
So let's just start with a really big question. We've all wondered it at some point. Why on earth does it take so long to find a new cure? Developing a vaccine has always been this incredibly slow, expensive, and really difficult process. But what exactly makes it so hard? Well, to really get why AI is such a revolution, you first have to understand the enormous challenge that scientists have been up against for generations. It has been a truly painstaking race against the clock.
For decades, the path to finding a new drug was, to put it mildly, a frustrating maze. It was all about trial and error. Just imagine dedicating years, sometimes your entire career, to a single project, with absolutely no guarantee it would ever work.
Okay, so what did that traditional method actually look like? Why was it so much like trying to solve a puzzle with, an almost infinite number of pieces?
Here's the key. To stop a disease, you have to understand its proteins. You can think of proteins as these tiny, incredibly complex machines that a virus uses to do its dirty work and invade our cells. So, if you want to stop the virus, you have to figure out how to break its machines.
And this quote just nails the problem perfectly. It really was like trying to find the one key that opens a specific lock, but you have a keychain with millions of keys. Researchers had to physically test thousands and thousands of different chemicals, these keys, in a lab one by one, just hoping that one would finally fit the virus's protein lock and shut it down.
The whole process was just so laborious. You isolate the protein, you test one single chemical, you analyze the results, and then you do it all over again. And again, and again, thousands of times. And the worst part? Most of the time, it led absolutely nowhere. A total dead end. But what if you could predict which key would work before you even bothered trying it in the lab? This, right here, is where artificial intelligence walks onto the stage and changes the entire game.
So, let's talk about the game changer, a system called AlphaFold 2. It's this groundbreaking AI from DeepMind, and it does something amazing. It doesn't just show you what a protein looks like, it actually predicts its super complex 3D shape, how it's going to fold itself up, and how it'll behave when it meets new molecules. This is the secret to finding the right key, fast.
And this is a massive shift in thinking. We're going from physical experiments to digital ones. So instead of spending all that time and money testing chemicals in a lab, the AI just runs thousands of simulations on a computer. It can figure out the most promising drug candidates in a tiny fraction of the time. I mean, the difference is just night and day. On one side, you have the old way, trial and error, years of lab work, sky-high costs, and a massive failure rate. On the other side, you've got the AI-powered method, predictive simulations that take weeks or even days, and, this is the big one, it identifies the best candidates to test first.
So you've got to be wondering, how did an AI get so good at biology, right? How did it actually learn to solve this incredibly complex puzzle? The answer is actually pretty fascinating.
Basically, the AI went to school. AlphaFold 2 was trained on a huge public library of information, a database packed with thousands of known protein structures that scientists had already spent decades figuring out the hard way.
And it's a lot like how a person would learn. If you study thousands of completed jigsaw puzzles, eventually you start to recognize the patterns, right? You get a feel for how the pieces are supposed to fit together. That's exactly what the AI did. It learned the fundamental rules of how proteins fold, and that lets it predict the structure of proteins it's never even seen before.
And the result of all that learning is this incredible acceleration. I mean, just look at this chart. A process that used to take scientists months or even years can now be done by an AI in just minutes or hours. It is really hard to overstate just how massive that leap forward is.
Now, this mind-boggling speed isn't just a cool science experiment. It has profound real-world consequences. It is kicking off a completely new era in medicine, one that moves at the speed of AI.
And we don't have to guess about the impact, because we've already seen it in action. During the COVID-19 pandemic, AI tools like this were absolutely crucial. They helped researchers map out the virus's protein structure incredibly quickly, and that was a critical first step that dramatically sped up the global search for vaccines. And when we look to the future, the possibilities are just enormous. Think about being able to respond way faster to future pandemics.
or developing new antibiotics to fight off those drug-resistant superbugs, or even creating medicines that are perfectly personalized to your unique genetic code. This technology is opening the door to all of that and so much more.
Now, it's really, really important to understand this point. This isn't about AI replacing scientists. Not at all. It's about empowering them. AI is a ridiculously powerful new tool that helps cut through all the noise, it reduces the guesswork, and it gives our researchers a much clearer, much faster path to finding the cures we all need.
And that leaves us with one last really powerful thought to chew on. We are now entering an age where we might not just be reacting to diseases as they pop up, we might actually be able to predict them and prepare for them in advance. So what if we could predict a pandemic's cure before it even begins? That's the future we're heading towards.